Formula Kai Racing League is back and it's bigger than ever. We've gone from struggling to fill up a single grid to filling up 3 full grids of talented North American and European drivers. If you know me, then you know that I love league racing, but nothing beats the feeling of driving in a league of your own creation. And if you're looking for a clean grid to hone your driving and become a better driver, the link is in the description if you like to join. This week, we're racing around Las Vegas with simulation damage and brand new regulations. This race is bound to be chaos. Welcome to the opening round of Formula Kai Racing League Season 2.
Like I discussed in my previous video, most of your pace in qualifying in F1 27 comes from your battery management. It's not that the lines you drive through the corners don't really matter, but doing the right amount of leco in qualifying and making sure that you have enough battery to maximize your lap time on the straights is more important.
Here we go. 132.1. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, I'm cooked. I'm fucking cooked, guys.
And honestly, this is something I've been struggling with quite a bit and that I have to spend more time understanding in F1 26.
Okay, now it's clipping. 31.6?
Because somebody has been playing iRacing and Le Mans Ultimate a little bit more in the past few months. Coming across the line, we're going to drink everything we got down to the last percent. Across the finish line, it is going to be 131.7.
Okay, 31.7. Okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad, guys. It's not too bad. You guys remember, no? Did it show on stream or... Oh. Too much leco into turn 1? I don't know how to take it differently, though. So I don't need to leco into turn 1, I guess? Just don't leco at all into turn 1. Fully send it. You know, it's one thing to just race in a league setting. And it's another to race in like your own league that you and your people build together, you know? It's a different feeling.
Now on the second push lap, we're going to experiment with how we're going to deploy this battery. Maybe leco a little less, carry a little bit more speed into the corners. Sometimes maybe lecoing a little bit more into corners so I can have more battery on the next straight. Or just change how we are deploying all of this battery. Coming out of turn 2, battery early, but we don't really gain, actually losing on the exit. It's something that I haven't quite got the grasp of. Into turn 4, a little leco. Brake after the 100 meter board, because when you leco, you lose speed, you carry less speed into the corner, and you can actually brake a lot later than you used to. Low leco again into the second sector, but under the limit slightly. And even now watching this onboard back, I can't really tell whether it's faster or slower. Trying third gear there, seems to have carried more minimum speed. Now, realistically, there's only 2 corners left. We've only done like a third of the track, but there's only 2 corners left, technically speaking. But if you look at the delta, we're already 4 tenths down. Before I even go over this inside curve,
I lose 4
and
tenths?
completely shot my exit.
Why did I lose 4 tenths there?
I don't understand. Legit, the same deployment map through the middle sector, and yet we're 4 tenths down.
Oh, but now I'm gaining on the next straight.
And we're going to be able to claw all this time back into the final corner, and again, up to the line. A 10th down coming out of the final corner, but we got way more battery this time to play with up until the start-finish line.
Okay, now I'm gaining on the next straight.
Coming across the line, we're actually going to be in the green by a couple of hundreds and improved just a little bit. I guess should have done more laps before the actual league race.
Make it make sense. Too much curb. Wait, I lost 4 tenths because I hit the curb? Thomas is going to win the league? No. Okay, we got one more run. How are people going this quick? We're getting destroyed in quali. Bunch of quali merchants. Okay, these people actually practiced. I didn't practice at all. Wait, somebody DNF? Ren's DNF? Oh my god, I'm getting fucking gapped. Look at this shit. Somebody went 34.9 in the third sector. It's 0.3 middle. Wait, he does a 29.6 in the middle sector. He's gapping me by like 8 tenths in the middle sector.
This is going to be the third and final push lap of the day, and we're going to try to improve because we're down in P5 currently. Either I'm really shit with these new regulations or the competition is very, very quick. We turn 1, stick to the left, open up the right, and overtake as soon as you can. Already up to 700s gain, almost a full 10th, headed towards turn 4. So far, so good, but I'm not sure it's whether because I'm driving a better line or I used too much battery in this first sector. Only time will tell. Little moment coming out of turn 4, losing a few hundreds. And now remember to do a little bit of leco, starting from the 150 meter board, going a little bit deep, missing the apex into the S's, Down in second gear, holding the brakes a little bit to help with the regeneration. A 10th up coming out of the middle sector. And now we're gaining time like crazy. We're actually gaining a lot of time. Headed down towards the Las Vegas Strip. Almost 4/10 gained. But does this mean I'm going to run out halfway down the straight? 5/10 gained coming out of this slow left. And now it's boost on all the way down to the last corner of the track.
Generational turn. This is on for pole, guys. Can I do pole? What am I losing?
But as we get closer to the final corner, we're losing time again. Still, we're 2/10 up. Trying to get this corner right, but we clip the inside curve, unsettled the car a little bit. And I do remember having more battery last time around.
We lose time on the main straight.
We're already down to 0, and we're still losing time. Coming up to the checker flag. We're going a little bit wide, actually. But still, it's a 2/10 improvement. I'm going to take it.
Fanculo. I had so much more battery. Yeah, I mean, yes, but... See, I take the corner better, but I didn't leako enough. So now I don't have enough battery for the main straight. And I just get completely shafted. Oh, Finley with the 131.3. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's see how we stack up in the race. Lots of people on the hards, actually. Aston Martin P4 and 5?
Heading into the race now, we're going to be down in P4, starting on the mediums, because knowing Vegas, there's going to be a lot of chaos, especially on this opening lap. 5 lights are out, and all 22 cars are go for this first round of Formula Kai Racing League. I'm going to take it very, very cautiously and try to use the extra grip from these medians on the opening lap, but the safety car has already come out. A virtual safety car. Might have been some broken front wings.
Well, somebody got killed behind.
And it has turned into a full-on safety already. And we've only had 1 corner of racing.
Is this serious? Thomas with a 10-second penalty? Nah, he got robbed. What even happened? Oh. Did something just fly off his car? Okay, guys, you gotta be careful when you hit that curve because apparently you can get damage from that. Wait, did Thomas get damage or what? Do we box, guys? It's only partial? Nah, I'm not boxing. It's too early. Just like that, we move up to P3. Oh, Finley's boxing. 1 clean lap. Let's go. Oh yeah, somebody hit my rear tires. So I have tire wear because somebody hit me.
On lap 3, we go racing again, hoping that this would be the last safety car we would see today.
Where's overtake? Where's my overtake?
And knowing that we spent the last 3 laps driving behind the safety car, I'm going to take it very cautiously into turn 1, but Thomas does not.
Okay.
And being on the hard compound tires, he gets completely caught off guard. He uses boost in the middle of the corner, almost running into my side pod, but I managed to hang it around the outside. But now there's 2 medium runners behind looking to pounce. We're both training on overtakes down towards turn 4. I'm going to start leaking very early. Thomas does as well, but I get caught off guard on the outside. The fronts are still way too cold, and I just lost 3 positions in a row. Not good at all. Thomas is still struggling a little bit with the heat on his hard tires, but let me tell you, it's not going to take long for his hards to get faster, so we have to get past here, and you can see how much later we can brake.
Oh, I can hear. Whoa. We sound like freaking nitrous activating.
And we're tucking in the slipstream here. Thomas seems to have turned off his overtake very early. I'm going to turn it back on right after we cross the start-finish line, go down the inside, and still leaving enough room on the outside for Thomas, but he decides to back out, deeming it unnecessary to go side by side through here. We're still very early into the race. And even though I seem to have slightly better top speed compared to Aaron, can't really close up before the braking zone. I have to leako to make sure I have enough battery for the next straight. But this is when another safety car came out. An incident in the last corner of the racetrack, and I get completely caught off guard, and I make a complete fool out of myself.
Oh my god, man.
And this is where the game decided to go completely crazy. It says that the safety car is going to come in this lap, but you'll see in a little second that the safety car is actually still on track. This is a recipe for disaster. You'll see in a moment why.
Wait, we're not racing.
Return the position immediately or we're going to get penalised. There's no overtaking during the safety car period.
Illegal overtake? Go, Mag. Come on.
By the way, this is a bug that's been in the game since F123, and it's still not fixed. Tells you that it's gonna come in this lap, but in fact, it's only gonna come in at the end of the next one. But since we got the message very, very early on, while we were at the last corner of the track, everybody thinks that this is the lap the safety car is going to come in. I'm going to remake the entire lobby with a 35% race this time, with the grid we had before the safety car came out. And since this race is a lot shorter this time, only 18 laps in fact, we're going to attempt something crazy here to go from the softs to the mediums. And the idea is that since we're going to have less racing laps, less fuel load, and because of these new regulations, we're going to be doing a lot more lifting and coasting. It's going to be a lot less stress on the tires, since we're going to be bringing a lot less speed and heat into the tires mid-corner. But again, only 2 corners later, another virtual safety car comes out. At least it's only a virtual safety car, not a full safety car this time. And I really think there's 2 reasons. One, I chose Vegas as the opening round, and I kind of knew in the back of my mind this was going to breed chaos. 2, simulation damage is what we run in this league. The idea behind that is you want to race by trying to avoid contact as much as possible, and any sort of contact is going to be heavily punished. Obviously, there's going to be an adjustment period to that, and I have confidence that the drivers in this league are only going to get better and better at racing side by side. And with the safety system and the relegation system we're going to have in place in the league, it's going to help even out any skill disparity between the drivers the more the season goes on. But back to the race now. Thomas is being very, very aggressive, using almost all of his battery to attack me, and he only managed to overtake me into turn 1 because I started to lift and coast very, very early. But these mediums are still much faster than the mediums, at least by a little bit, for the next few laps. And it's going to allow me to keep up with the leaders because Boaty is not being very aggressive. He's being smart. He's lifting behind Aaron to save as much battery as possible, and also to nurse his softs to stretch the stint as much as possible, because probably like me, he's thinking of going to the mediums, but you cannot afford to go to the mediums too quickly because you will pay the price come the end of the race. And now Thomas has lost the position to Thomas. That's pretty funny. Harvey has lost the position to the Ferrari driver, and this is because while he used all of his overtake, the Ferrari driver was just waiting behind patiently. And now Thomas loses another position because he has to spend more time trying to recharge his battery. This is the price you have to pay if you're too aggressive with how you deploy the battery.
Holy shit. Thomas didn't leak enough. He got overtaken by like 3 dudes.
It is now lap 3, and the softs still look much faster than the mediums. Though I know the mediums is going to win in the long run, I have a lot of a battery to play with. So does Bodhi, and he starts recharging very, very early. I kind of want to stick my nose in there to kind of maybe throw them off their line, but I don't want to make it too wide into here, and I want to try to get a good exit coming out of this corner onto the Vegas strip. And now we have double slipstream going onto the long back straight. Overtake on. I'm going to keep draining, but you see, the closer you get to the top speed, we actually hit the rev limiter here. The battery does not deploy anymore, and I kind of want to keep some for the next straight as well. So I'm gonna lift early, leaving some room to Aaron, and also leaving plenty of room to Bolty because I don't want to surprise myself and run into his back and lose my front wing. We still have more than 40% to play with. Bolty's already starting to recharge, but I'm still using battery. I'm gonna go for the move into turn 1, but we're running critically low on battery. We're gonna have to leco just a little bit into turn 1, leaving some room on the inside in case somebody decides to send it. Actually, Thomas, the Ferrari on the hards, almost takes second position, but I think he had a moment and he fell back, or maybe he got hit. This is the yo-yo type of racing we've come to enjoy so much from these new regulations. And the other soft runner, Boaty, seems to have been caught in an incident, probably with Thomas in the Ferrari. Just a couple of corners later, Thomas is going to try to go down the inside before the Vegas strip. I'm going to leave him the room. Plenty of room, actually, because I don't want to risk any type of contact. Tire rubbing is also very punishing with this damage model because you actually get extra tire wear from touching somebody else. And we're going to manage to just inch ahead because we have overtake and Thomas does not. Well, another safety car comes out. Now we have a decision to make. It is lap 4. soon to be lap 5. Should we box or stay out on the softs and box later? Boxing now would allow us to get the mandatory pit stop out of the way, but going onto the mediums too early might be a mistake later on in the race when the tire wear gets too high. But one thing's for sure, I'm gonna go into the pits, and usually I would have opted for the hards because it's the most consistent race tire, but I kind of want to take a risk today, go onto the mediums instead of the hards and see how they fare. Because technically there's only going to be 12 laps of racing, and in a normal 25 lap race, the mediums can go to lap 10 or 11 pretty easily, though they're in pretty rough shape at the end. With 12 laps to go, we should only have a lap and a half or maybe 2 laps where these mediums are going to struggle relative to the hards. So in theory, we should have the upper hand for the remainder of this race. But in practice, it's usually a lot different. People are going to attack you. You're going to have to use your tires more sometimes to push. Only time will tell. And while we wait for the safety car to get to the timing line, I'm going to keep heating up my tires, keep weaving, and wait for the guys behind to weave as well. But as soon as the message to go racing again appears, we're gonna pull the pin and drive off into the distance.
Man, that was fucking evil. Holy shit.
And we're gonna have an 8/10 gap to Thomas Harvey behind, who's on the hards, by the way. And we're gonna try to kind of escape on the mediums here. We're gonna absolutely send it in this middle sector through the S's as we go past the giant sphere. It's still pushing second gear, third, flicking the car in, a little bit of brakes to help with the rotation, and using a lot of overtake on exit. But you have to remember, DRS is not a thing anymore, so there's no DRS detection point here before the main straight. The only place on track where he needs to be outside of that 1 second window is at the last corner. So we're gonna keep pushing here, keep draining the battery all the way down the straight. The gap is 1.1 seconds, and it looks like he's gaining a little bit on the straight. He's catching a little bit of the slipstream, and this is helping him from down to 15% ERS already. As we come up to the braking zone, the gap is going to be barely above a second, and I lose some time mid-corner. Not sure what happened. Almost losing the rear over the inside curve. Now the gap is 8/10 to Thomas Harvey.
And they're so quick.
And I'm still pushing the car through the corners, but it's not viable. We can't keep this up forever. I'm running low on battery. Probably still not leaking enough. I'm still driving like it's F125. Muscle memory is deeply ingrained, and it's hard to get rid of, but I missed the apex there. That's gonna cost us. The gap is barely above a second. Now it comes down to 9/10.
Oh, this race is gonna get more and more difficult from now on.
Looks like I might have to give this up because I'm running low on battery, approaching the Vegas Strip, and I can't keep this up forever. And on lap 9, Thomas is well within that 1 second window. He's got overtake, and when you get overtake, that's when the yellow boost becomes blue because you're within 1 second of the guy ahead. You get not only you get more deployment for longer on the straights, but you also regenerate more battery. You can harvest more battery per lap as well. So we have to start being strategic with how we use the battery and how we take care of these tires, because they need to go to the end. Still 9 laps to go. We're barely at the halfway point in this race, and those hards are only going to get faster relative to our mediums the longer this race goes on. Mediums might still have a slight edge for now, but I'm not sure that's going to hold true in a couple of laps.
My mediums should still be, in theory, faster than the hards, I feel. Gained like a full 10th and a half. I feel like he hit... Did he clip the barrier? Yo! Think of the follower goal, guys. Yeah, I think he clipped the wall. He clipped the wall and he got like a bunch of tire wear.
That's the danger with simulation damage, is if you're not careful and you rub your tires against the wall, you are going to be heavily punished. You're gonna rack up a lot of tire wear. Kind of like in real life, you know? So, skill issue. Just don't drive into the wall. But now, we're on the penultimate lap of the race. Thomas Harvey, 3/10 behind, and I still have access to overtake right now, but this is where the quote-unquote DRS games are going to come in, because you want to have access to the overtake for the last lap. It's going to give you more regen, and it's also going to give you a more powerful version of boost. And now there's actually a Cadillac in the mix, forcing Thomas to go on the attack, but he doesn't want to. He wants that precious overtake, and I'm going to lose it here. Both cars behind me are going to have access to overtake. Well, I don't. This is going to be tricky on this last lap, because they're going to be able to regen more power, and they're going to be able to accelerate harder and for longer on the straights. And Thomas is going to go around the outside here. I have to leave him some room, but I do have the inside line for this corner, but it turns into the outside. He's still on the inside, barely inching ahead. I have to lift just a little bit and then tuck into the slipstream. And I keep looking back to see where Nick is because I don't want him to have any funny ideas going into this middle sector. Thomas is going to go very, very defensive into turn 4. He's going to be very, very slow on exit. Very bad line. I'm going to go for the switchback. Overstake still on, but there's 2 more cars behind that are just waiting to pounce. I have to leave some room on the inside. He concedes. Now I am ahead. Going into this middle sector, 45%. I'm still regenning, but is it going to be enough? Going into the Vegas Strip, almost losing the rears coming out of this heavy traction zone. This is not looking good. I am below 40%. Going onto the Vegas Strip, I'm gonna have to start lifting very, very early here into the braking zone. How much can we gain back? Last bits of the brake, a little bit of lifting and coasting, almost running into the wall on the outside, but still carrying decent speed. But the gap is 2/10, and Thomas is in the slipstream, overtake on, and he looks to be the favorite to win this race. There's nothing I can do as he blasts past with overtake. He starts flashing, but that can mean 2 things. He's either recharging or he's out of battery, and he goes very, very defensive here. Last corner of the race, and I'm too far to attempt anything, but Thomas goes straight on into the barriers.
No way! No! Thomas!
And coming across the start finish line, it is going to be a victory.
Thomas! What have you done?
But I have to admit, I got lucky on that one. I think the mediums had dropped off in terms of performance at the end of the race, and the hards were all but faster. But if not for that mistake, I don't think I would have won today.
Thomas!
I actually had a lot of fun racing in the top split of the European division of Formula Kite Racing League. And if you're also looking for an F1 26 league to hone your driving skills and finally get a good grasp of these new regulations for good, click on the link in the description, join my Discord to sign up for Season 2 of Formula Kite Racing League. We already have 3 full tiers, and the driver numbers are only going up day by day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. This is Formula Kite signing off.
I'm pretty happy with how it went. I'm very satisfied with how it went. Yes, we have to figure out how to race side by side with these cars. It's an adjustment for everybody, but to go from 1 tier to 3 tiers and having both race go at the same time and for it to be a success, I call that a major win. I call that a major win.